If you guys want to win a copy of the Ultimate Edition of FIFA 19 worth around $100, all you need to do is leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel. Do those three things, that'll enter you into the giveaway and I'll be sending a copy to one of you guys when the game's released. Hey guys, Ethan here, and today I'm going to be breaking down 15 minutes of official FIFA 19 gameplay, showing you guys all the new features and details in it, many of which haven't been shown in any of EA's trailers or the information released on their website. So this gameplay is straight from EA Play. I did a video on it yesterday just showing you guys the gameplay with some music over the top of it, but having watched it back a couple of times, I picked out quite a few little details that haven't actually been mentioned at all in anything released so far by EA. Some of them are really small, but there are actually some quite big gameplay features that I thought would be interesting to make a video on. So if you guys do enjoy, leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and also if you do those two things, as well as leaving a comment down below, you will be entered into my FIFA 19 giveaway, as I will be giving away the Ultimate Edition, the very best version of FIFA 19. I'll be giving that to one of you guys in a couple of weeks time when I can pre-order it. But anyway, as you guys can see, we've got the gameplay in the background. It is recorded on someone's iPhone, that is why the quality isn't too good. You weren't allowed to capture any gameplay at EA Play. However, this guy did actually manage to sneak his phone in and record some footage. I also have had to crop out the top, that's where you can't see the scoreline, just because if not I'll probably get copyright strikes by EA. That happened to me 2 years ago and I wasn't able to stream for 3 months, so I don't want that to happen. And one final thing, some people may think it's fake or something because it's got last season's kits, and also I believe Buffon is still playing for Juventus even though he's actually left them now. The reason for that is just because this is a really early build of the game. It might be a beta, it might even be an alpha. It's the earliest version that's been released, so it's not up to date with all the new kits and everything as it was made before then. But the first thing you're going to be seeing is just with the gameplay, the actual speed of it is very different to the current FIFA. From people who've actually played this, they say it's very similar to FIFA 15 in terms of game speed. It's a very, very fast-paced and quick game. You can really get forwards quickly with very quick passing, and it just feels really fluid. And FIFA 15, in terms of gameplay, is probably my favourite FIFA. It's also the FIFA I was best at. It's the only FIFA I've kind of been consistently in Division 1 in, and I mean, that's a really good sign. I'm looking forward to it if it is going to be like FIFA 15, and I think it will be a more fun game if it's got that faster paced, more kind of arcadey gameplay, which is nowhere near kind of what we have on the current FIFA or what we've had for a couple of years now. So I think that is a really, really nice thing to see. Although with this first goal, I mean, you've got to question the keeper right there. You've really got to question the keeper. So hopefully that's not a recurring theme in FIFA 19. But with the gameplay, you're also going to be seeing a lot of dribbling that looks very different to what we are kind of used to on the current FIFA. And this is another really, really key thing. EA have completely revamped the dribbling system on FIFA 19, so you've got a lot more close control. You can take a lot of different types of first touches. There are a few articles on their website if you want to check them out. I'll leave a link down below in the description that go into a little bit more detail on this. But now, for example, you can take a first touch and you can just take it in a certain direction, so you can get the ball out your feet really quickly to go for a shot or to go for a pass, and it just allows you to have more options really with what you want. Nowadays on FIFA 18, if you get the ball, it stays quite close to your feet and you then kind of have to move and do something before you can actually shoot or pass. Whereas with this new feature, it's a lot more kind of fluid and quicker. You can just get the ball, first touch, get it out of your feet and just go for a pass or a first time shot. So that gives you quite a few more options, and it's going to be really useful trying that out in the penalty area. Also, in terms of dribbling, I'm not sure if it is in this gameplay. I haven't seen it, it may be, but there is actually a new type of fake shot as well, and it's really, really effective from what I've heard from people who've actually played the game. I've been speaking to a few people over on Twitter who are actually at the EA Play event, and there's a new fake shot where instead of kind of being like a Cruyff done where you cut back on yourself or you go to a certain side, you keep on running forwards. But unlike the current kind of fake shot system, if you do that whilst running forwards, you lose a lot of momentum. Sorry, I can't speak. You lose a lot of momentum when you're running forwards. With this new fake shot, you keep going at full speed, but it's kind of like a body feint. It's currently in PES, and I'll put a clip of it on screen right now so you guys can get a rough idea of what it is. And it allows you to just really easily beat someone, and it's going to be really effective in the penalty area. If you've got a quick player, you can just quickly get past them, just kind of dummying to one side, going for that shot. So that's a cool new feature. There have been a lot of different additions in terms of dribbling, and you've just got a lot more kind of close control. So that's the main kind of thing in terms of gameplay. We do also have new shooting, and you're not really going to see this in the gameplay here. It's more kind of to do with the controls now for shooting. You've got a much more accurate way of finishing by using the double tap shoot button. Nowadays that isn't going to do a driven finish. I think that's now the right bumper and shoot, which means that finesse shots no longer exist, kind of. I mean, now all the shots you take are just a normal shot is going to automatically be a finesse shot, and if you want to go for a more kind of powerful driven shot or a long shot, you're going to need to use the new double tap system. So that's something new which will probably take a little bit of time to get used to. And you can also choose whether you want to go for a header or a volley now when the ball's coming over. I believe you press LT or LB, not 100% sure, but there is a new control which allows you to actually choose when a cross is coming in whether you want to hit that full on the volley or whether you want to head it. So those are two little features there which aren't really kind of that visible in the gameplay, and these guys playing don't seem to be that good as well. It's probably their first time playing it, so you wouldn't expect them to be, but that is something else. Also, goal kicks, you can see right here, are a little bit different. You actually have a really wide, long-range camera angle. This guy took an awful goal kick right here, and is he going to concede from it? Yeah, he does, so don't do that. But you've got this new kind of camera angle. It's a lot further back. You've got a wider angle of the pitch. You can see each side a little bit easier, so it gives you better options there in terms of passing. And something really nice with the crowd, it looks so much more realistic, especially if you just compare this straight to FIFA 17 or FIFA 16 or FIFA 18, any of those previous FIFAs. If you put them next to each other, you see a really nice contrast. I mean, look at the crowd, for example, there. They look so much more realistic. The crowd right now on FIFA 18, in terms of graphics, is one of the weak points. The game itself looks quite good graphically, but the crowd, I mean, you've got just a lot of people who look exactly the same next to each other. They all just have exactly the same shirts on. They all look really basic. Their movements really basic as well. Like when you score a goal, they just stand up and like their arms are here and they just look like they're zombies or something. Whereas on this FIFA, you'll see a few shots, especially towards the end when you've actually got the trophy ceremonies. The crowd look a lot more realistic. They're wearing kind of varied clothes and stuff, different stuff, so it just looks like a more realistic crowd, because obviously at a real game you don't have everyone wearing exactly the same thing. And something else you actually see kind of, I know it's a really small feature, but graphically it's not just with the crowd, it's also with players. You see like their mouths move and stuff when they're celebrating and they're kind of shouting. You see this, it was actually in the trailer, when players go in for like a big challenge, they're not just running just with straight faces at the ball. You're going to see like they kind of show a little bit of passion and anger. Maybe you see like a kind of angry face when they're going in for the ball. I know it's a really small detail, but it just adds to the overall realism of the game, which I think is always a nice touch. You've obviously got the new menus as well. This is the official kind of Champions League menu, so it looks exactly like it does in real life, which is really nice. You've got the new commentators as well. You've got the new banners in the crowd too, so you won't really see them here just because I have had to crop out the screen. I wouldn't really ideally want to, but I have to, or else the video will probably get taken down and you guys won't be able to see it at all. But in the crowd, you've got like obviously banners on FIFA 18, the current FIFA. You've got some banners in the crowd, but nowadays on this FIFA, on FIFA 19, you've got way more in terms of kind of flags. You've got massive banners like we saw in the trailer, the Real Madrid one, exactly like they have in real life. You've got a massive flag down at one end of the pitch. You've also got really big pictures. I'm not 100% sure how they look like, because it doesn't look like they're being held up by fans. I'm not sure if maybe they're hanging off the stadium or something, but again, we saw that in the trailer. There was Ronaldo. At the beginning of this gameplay, you guys may have seen there was a Juventus player, that is Del Piero, obviously a Juventus legend, so I expect we're going to have kind of legendary players from different clubs past kind of in the background, which would be cool. So that's just going to make the game look a little bit more realistic, and you've not just got the normal kind of generic one flag, kind of one size that a few people have in the crowd like you've got on FIFA 18. You've got a wide variety. You've got like really big banners, kind of smaller flags, ones being held by a few different people. It just makes the crowd look more realistic, because that is one of the less graphically appealing parts of FIFA 18. I think one thing they really could add in that would look great would be flares. Maybe when you score, like a flare could get thrown onto the pitch, or you could just have flares in the crowd. That would be a nice touch and would just add to that sense of reality in the game. But I mean, it's not too much in the grand scale of things. You will see around the side of the pitch, you've also got the new advertising boards as well, again keeping with the FIFA 19 Champions League theme. You've got all the official Champions League ones, so you've got MasterCard as one of the sponsors, Pepsi Max, Gazprom, lots and lots of little details like that. PS4 as well, which I'm not sure, are they going to have the PS4 advertising? Because that is something they do have for the Champions League. Are they going to have that on Xbox? I'm not sure. I doubt it, but it would be kind of funny if they did have that in the background. And overall, you guys can see with the gameplay and everything, you've just got kind of, it looks, I know these guys aren't the best at FIFA, so they're not kind of, I don't really know how they're playing. Like, they're not playing like how you typically play. They keep trying to dribble loads with their defenders and stuff. But you really can see, like, the gameplay looks quite a lot different. And I think it will be quite a hard FIFA to get used to at first, because we've got new shooting mechanics, new dribbling mechanics, and it does just seem a lot different. And from what I've heard from people who've played it, it is quite a different game. So I think it's going to be an interesting thing to get used to. But I really think this gameplay does look nice. You've got a lot of kind of just things that would make the game more fun. That fast-paced gameplay is so important. That's what we've had on the really popular FIFAs in terms of gameplay, like FIFA 13, FIFA 12, FIFA 15. They were really fun games to play, whereas nowadays the game, it's just less fun really. It's more kind of just a slow down game, and it's less fun to play. And I think this faster paced kind of more arcadey game where you can just ping the ball about really quickly, you can do lots of skills, you can just have fun. I think it's really going to make the game a lot more fun to play. So that is obviously always going to be a good thing. A couple of other minor features that have been added in, you guys will have probably seen in the background, and you can see sometimes along here there was a little bit of shirt pulling here, and when you get these kind of one-on-one battles, you can see it looks a lot more realistic how the players kind of interact with each other, especially when they start kind of pulling each other's shirts. You've got both players holding on, people pushing each other with two arms. When you fall over, you kind of try and like push the other person, you roll over on the ground. There's a lot more kind of realistic animations, which is quite cool to see. Again, it's not a big thing, but it just does make the game look a little bit more realistic. And all these little tiny features do add up, and they will really make the game better overall in terms of gameplay, and it's going to make it look better. The gameplay itself, like how you guys can see with the really fast movement and stuff, things like those will gradually change over the course of FIFA 19 as we get different patches. And this is a very early version of the game, so it won't be exactly the same. So for example, right here, little kind of things that might seem a little bit overpowered or just little glitches and things will probably end up getting resolved by the EA dev team. And by the time we get to the full stage of the game, for example, here you see a lot of passes getting misplaced. They may end up kind of just tweaking that and potentially buffing passing, so it's just a little bit more effective. I'm not sure. It's hard to say just because these guys are playing their very first game of FIFA 19, so that might be why there's lots of passes going astray, because they don't really fully know what they're doing. One other thing which I thought would be worthy of note is the fact that Park the Bus has now actually been removed from FIFA, so you can no longer park the bus. Nowadays, I don't know what is happening here. This guy's rushed his keeper out loads, but nowadays you can just go to ultra defensive and defensive. You no longer have Park the Bus, which I think is a really cool addition. I mean, no one likes playing against Park the Bus people because it's very hard to break down. So that's a cool new thing here. But now we're actually going to see the end of the game. You'll see the trophy ceremonies, a few things with the crowd as well. I think overall, when it focuses on these player faces and everything, you've got a little bit more, like these player faces, Cavani looks the same in terms of his player face, but you've got more details now. You see kind of more of the sweat on the players. You see with their kind of facial expressions really expressing their emotion having won the game. And little things like that, which are new features. You see in the background here a lot more of these flags and things that are way more, and it does make everything look a little bit more realistic here. This guy skipped one of the animations, so you don't see everyone kind of walking up for the trophy, but I believe that does normally happen, although you do see a few walking up. One thing that's not the best though is the actual trophy. It doesn't look that sharp. It looks a little bit blurry, so they may again improve that. But yeah, it doesn't look amazing quality, the trophy, in comparison to the players and everything. But here you can actually see the trophy ceremony, and it will vary obviously depending on the teams. You'll have different kind of flags and banners and everything in the background, maybe different colour schemes in terms of the fireworks and the kind of confetti and everything in the background. But you've obviously got all of this. It focuses in on the players. You've got all the branding. You've got the crowd here all celebrating together. That's a nice little touch there. That does look a lot better, and it's something we don't currently have on FIFA FIFA 18. I mean, if you compare that to the current crowd, it is a lot better. All of this kind of stuff, these cutscenes are really cool. I mean, obviously once you've won it a couple of times, it's gonna not be something you'll watch through every single time, but it's just cool. It's a little bit more realistic. It's something nice to see. All the players celebrating together. We do have quite similar things to this in FIFA 18, but it has just generally been improved. So you see the players really kind of celebrating together, shouting, doing all different celebrations and stuff. I mean, it's not a huge change to the game, but there's not much more they can do really in terms of like graphical improvements. It's already such a high level game. It's on the Frostbite engine, which is probably the best in terms of graphics, or one of the best engines in terms of graphics in gaming. So it's very hard for them to improve the graphics, and it's just little things, but they are doing that each year. But anyway, that is the end of the gameplay. You guys have seen some of those new little features. I've been breaking it down. If you do see any more FIFA 19 gameplay on YouTube as well, hit me up, let me know, and I can maybe do another video breaking down some of the things in there if I do find any more information about the game. But I mean, in here you've seen a lot of little details, many of which haven't been shown in EA's original kind of trailer, and also the information on their site. So you may not have seen this, and hopefully it's something a little bit interesting for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and leave a comment down below. Those 3 things will enter you into the FIFA 19 giveaway, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.